Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, and welcome to Twitch TV for Northern Arena. Looks like there's a huge zoom in on just my face. Where's Launders? I have no idea. So I'm just going to entertain you guys until he actually gets here. And if I have to, I'm actually going to solo cast as well. Welcome to day 2 of the first ever Northern Arena event. And we are getting ready to bring you guys the second semifinal today. If you guys are just tuning in now, you didn't know what really happened over the past 2 days. We actually had 8 invited teams come here to compete for a prize pool of $20,000. So we had 4 teams in Group A, which were CLG Blue, Nexus, Threes Up, and Ace Gaming. There you go. Try to get it on top of my head. Didn't get too much sleep. And in Group B, we had Method Complexity, CLG Red, and another one that advanced. Yes. And Splice. There we go. And then Splice actually moved forward with Complexity in Group B in the afternoon or the evening. And then for day 1, we also had CLG Blue and Nexus move on. We already played the first semifinal yesterday as well, so CLG Blue are already into the grand finals happening later on this afternoon, as soon as we find out who's going to win between Complexity and Nexus. Surprisingly enough, though, to see Nexus move into this matchup and actually make it into the top 4. So they secure at least $2,500 for the team. It's $5,000 for second place and $10,000 for first place. Nexus, we talked about it yesterday. If you guys aren't familiar for today, it's basically Ape. A lot of experience in the invite/professional ESCA and CEVO scene, and he was able to come up with a last-minute roster to actually defeat and pass Threes Up to move on to the semifinal match that we see today. So yesterday they had Rob Wiz play for the team. So it was Rob Wiz, Uber, Ape, Synced, and DSR. Now Rob Wiz is gone, and they actually brought in a new fifth for this matchup today, and it's none other than Daps of Conquest. So that's actually a really good replacement. We'll see how things are going to go, because Ape has been calling strats as well for Nexus over the whole weekend, and they have been fragging out quite well. And I was talking to him a little bit earlier on before the match. I was saying, how are you calling these strats right here for this brand new roster that you have for this event? He says, you know what? I just give them the basics, say what I would like for them to do, and then I just let them execute it, and they'll be able to do it. So for these maps that he's able to call a little bit easier, where it's easier to pug through, he's going to be calling them. But then another in-game leader, bringing in Daps for Conquest, Daps might be calling other maps that might be a little bit harder to call when you need a little bit more strategy in terms of execution. So if you're just tuned in now, we are in a best out of 3 single elimination process between Complexity and Nexus. So we'll go through the ban phase. So we have Nexus that actually banned Train, which I would agree with, actually, because it's I was talking to Warden about it before as well. He says Train is pretty much my favorite map to call. Easy to call for a team as well, even though they're a little bit more puggish with who they have, with Warden coming in to replace their fifth for this event. They're still able to go very well. Second map, Complexity actually bans Mirage. So the first map that we're going to play is going to be on Inferno. Then Complexity actually banned Cobble. Nexus bans Overpass. Complexity bans Dust 2. So the third map is going to be Cache. This will be interesting as well if we actually do see a third map. Cache, you could pretty much plug it in as well. There's not that many sort of strategies that you really need to do. It's pretty much set smokes if you're going to try to execute towards B, just smoke towards CT spawn, smoke also towards truck side at A, and then you just go for an all-out frag fist with trades. So it'll be interesting what's going to happen in the third map. But first one being Inferno, a map that Nexus chose. They played that against Ace Gaming yesterday, where they actually won 16-7, if I'm not mistaken, in their group play in terms of final score. They were able to execute quite well as a team, although they are a puggish team, in terms of like getting boosts, getting people going inside the B bomb site together, getting those, and it's not really running into the site to get kills. Like I said, it's those boosts over towards that barrels at the beginning, at the entrance of the site, to try to get those down. So we are in the server waiting for them to ready up, and since Launder still isn't here, we'll be going with a solo cast. So please enjoy, as I'll try to do a little bit of both. So A brother, as you see there on the T side, that is going to be Daps that they actually brought in. It's still going to be the same roster for Complexity for the past day that we've seen. So Automatic Semphis, Warden, and Roka. While for Nexus, we have Synced, Uber, Ape, Daps, and DSR. And since I'm going to be solo casting this, guys, make sure you tweet at CSBOXR and let him know that I'm going to deduct a bit of his pay for this weekend, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to get paid more. Rip Boxers. So we're going to move up towards this middle for the knife round. To who today, you can still see a little bit more of a CT-sided map in terms of CSGO. Before it was a little bit more balanced in the 1.6 days, but if you're looking at 9 or 10 rounds on the CT side, it's something that you see actually quite regularly. So the knife round is done. But I'm just kidding too, guys. Just give Launder some slack. Apparently he was up at 4 a.m. yesterday to actually come to the event and cast all day with me until 2 a.m. But that's what happens when you're trying to cast European matches and stream late nights. Your schedule gets out of whack. I just got a text, he's on his way. So every minute that goes by, I get an extra $5 from Launders' pay. So we will see Complexity starting off on the CT side against Nexus. One more time, let's go through the CSGO Lounge roster rundown. We have Synced, Uber, Ape, Daps, and DSR on T side, while for Complexity, it is composed of Automatic, Sank, Semphis, Warden, and Roka. Looking at this so far, there's going to be that lurk for Nexus up towards that alternate middle. They do have a raid boss in the hands of Uber. Look at that aggressive push, though, by Sanks down towards middle. Gets the first headshot onto DSR, and Automatic going to work as well, holding towards that bedroom area. Gets another headshot onto Daps, and just like that, it's going to be a 5 versus 1 situation. Things are looking great for Complexity to start things off, and last man standing, it's going to be Uber falling down, and that is all thanks to that first information that was spotted by Sanks pushing down towards that mid. So a little bit off for Nexus there, as they focus all of their firepower towards that alternate middle. So that means nobody was towards that mid to watch from T-Ramp. Nobody was watching for Banana, so they never knew what was going to happen if anybody was going to push aggressively for Complexity's side. So no information on their side. They played in the dark, and they paid the price. A flawless victory coming in for Complexity to start this round. Couple of smokes being lobbed right now up towards mid and towards hallway, and Automatic will get the first kill with the MP9 down towards the hallway. He's going to try to push down still, but then it's going to be DSR long range with the Deagle, taking him down, but 2 of them are already at 18 HP. Respectively, altogether, it's going to be Synced and DSR. Smokes towards Banana. Entrance to just try to run down that clock, as we have over a minute still towards this round. It's going to force DSR and company of Nexus to just hold back for a bit, because they also smoked up towards middle. Now as it dissipates, looks like they're going to try to creep back up towards this middle side. A nice flash to peek through, and Semphis is going to get the kill. He is tag Complexity CS Complexity Semphis. He loves Complexity. But it's traded out by Daps, and now they're moving up towards porch side, but Sanks is still inside that pit. Just by the truck, gets a triple kill. And this is a great start for people that are waking up right now and are ready to frag. And if you actually look at the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen, I love to say this. It is a 4-3-2-1-0 Care Bear countdown for Complexity in terms of frags. So nothing more that you could really see there. I mean, it was just that aggressive push one more time. This time it wasn't from mid, it was from hallway. You got some information, you got a kill, you spot it more. Now look at that, they have a 3-man push towards Banana, 1 at mid and 1 towards the hallway, and they have enemy and the rest of Nexus actually pinned. This Pug team cannot get anything more. Roka going to work with the P250, getting 2 headshots, and the last one sweeped off at middle. He's still able to trade out 2 kills, though, with that P250. I think they went with more armor as well for Nexus, which gives them a chance now for this default 4th round gun round to go with full AKs, except for DSR, actually, who only is able to afford to take 9 armor. Decides to utilize more towards the nades and the smokes and the flashes, and even the molly to support the team a little bit more. So use that molly first to prevent the push from the car. But look at another aggressive push by Saint. He's at the bench, gets the easy kill, peeks back down, a second one in the face of Daps. As they're closing through the hallway, it's already a 5-on-2, and the last guys are now pinned towards Banana. First enemy spotted, information given. DSR will watch that flank to try to pick up that gun left behind. He misses that flash, though. By the way, he hasn't slept yet. And he comes back down to try to pick up that bomb. He gets swept off by Complexity, and the score's going to be 4-0. And again, mind you, this is Nexus's pick in terms of map choice, and Complexity is running away with this. And it was tough. I mean, they tried to push and get some information for Nexus, so it's good for them that they split off and try to see what was going on towards Banana and mid, but at the same time, they never noticed that Sanct actually pushed down all the way towards that bench side. One more thing that was maybe a small mistake was that they left Bomb all the way back towards T-spawn because they wanted to play that pick-off game, pick it up later, and then move as a team after, but not expect an aggressive push. That's the result you get. Save round moving up as they're all getting denied towards that boiler, and Porch side, as a flawless victory comes in. I think this is what? The third flawless victory in this match so far for Complexity. They are looking hot and on point to continue this streak, but we finally do have an op in the hands of Daps. It's been a while since we've seen Daps op in, actually. I think he's been opping back, way back a little bit earlier on, and he misses that shot. Actually, the dome was just right there. Could not connect, unfortunately. That was Semphis that walked across. Rook is by himself towards the car. He lines up two more. First off, it was the P250, this time with the AK, and now more communication is going to be given as he was able to drop that bomb carry. Look at Semphis. How did he nail that shot? He gets the headshot onto Synced. And Nexus just can't do anything right now on his T side of Inferno. Bomb is still down towards that Banana side. Daps finally gets something done as he retaliates back onto Semphis. He calls out a nice try. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Touchdown need from Automatic down towards that mid end. Let's return that nice try, or maybe even reply with a question mark if you want, as Automatic takes him down with the AWP. And it's now going to be 6 unanswered round. And that was actually a lot of money invested for Nexus's side in terms of getting that AWP and only getting a kill in $100 per kill. There's not much you could do. They get the bonus money, pretty much max bonus because it's 6-0 for Complexity so far. They are still able to go with AK-47s except for, like I said, Daps. Invested a lot with 4750. Could only get one kill. What a pick there though by Semphis out towards that car. Roka to support. They get a double kill. Quickly traded back by 8, but it's still a 1-minute advantage for Complexity. What I was trying to finish my sentence is to say that Daps only had a P90. Here comes that Molly. They're going to try to run through. So there's only going to be one guy by himself inside B. One guy fully flashed, but he runs through the smoke, and so does his opponent. Automatic's just hiding inside there, but it's a 3 versus 3 situation. This could be huge. DSR going face-to-face now towards that flank. At the car, keeps him back. It's going to be Sanct. The nade is not going to damage him too much as it falls just in front of the car. Semphis at Nubox gets the op shot onto 8, but here's that big flank coming through. Well, he's hurt for sure. So we saw that turnaround from Automatic, peeks out towards that spool. Brother, hey brother. Daps is trying to go with that P90 long range towards the Nubox, but does not connect against the Opera. He's now pinned with 35 seconds left on the clock. This is it. Semphis retaliates back. And we now have 7 unanswered rounds. At this point, I think we should see, or should have, in my opinion, a pause for Nexus to see what's going on there. I mean, whether it be passive plays or aggressive plays from Complexity, Nexus cannot find any gaps at all to move forward. They're going to be on a mix buy again, like I mentioned, that max bonus money coming through. Finally, something happens a little bit faster for them as they even it up on a 3-3, but again, that bomb is so far back towards that T-spawn, so they have to just go for that fragging game. Sang's peeking towards the balcony a little bit too late. Sanct able to turn around and fall back, but he eats a nade and it's down to 22 HP now. Ape is still lurking towards the entrance of Banana to try to win that 1 versus 1 against Warden. Try to hold it back long enough, so good communication here. If you're actually looking at that minimap, Sync is trying to protect mid so that Uber could actually pick up the bomb. They'll meet up together and they'll all execute towards B. But Semphis, meanwhile, has rotated all the way across B as well. Does have that AWP, and he's opting it from spawn, while Warden has a molly ready just to block out the entrance in case Semphis misses a shot. He does not, though. Sync falls down. The molly to hold him back, and we have 36 seconds left on the clock to keep him back. They're actually going to jump and run through. And it's just going to be easy pickings for Warden and Semphis to hold that B site. And we now see 8 unanswered rounds for Complexity, with, again, this force buy that continuously comes out from Nexus. They have actually a combined total of 13 kills for T-side in 8 rounds. No, even 11. My math is not good early in the morning, by the way. So they're actually tied up to the top fragger of this server so far, which is going to be Sanks at 11-2. Automatic Roka still doing the work towards their part, and they're going to add more to the tally. As Sanks and Automatic Act 2 of their own, and Automatic with the hat trick, holding down that middle, only losing Semphis in that fight for Nexus, pushing up towards that mid. At least you don't really see a frustration coming through from Nexus' side, because at the end of the day, they are a pug team. And in my opinion, what you would expect from a pug team, or your goal is just to make it out of groups. They did. They secured $2,500. For most of them, they are local players, for the exception of DSR that flew in from Vancouver. So they're already making good bank here for the team. DSR finally, though, getting the first kill for Nexus, and I think this is actually the first time they get the first kill in the round. We're now forced to fall back. So they're going to have to play a 2-2 setup on the CT side, both with crossfires. It means that you do have a weaker middle. Just like that, it's even back up at that mid side for Sanks with the AK to retaliate back onto DSR. Ape's about to run across here. It's peeked out by Sanks, gets the easy pick in with the AK-47. Under a minute to go right now as another smoke is being lobbed by Complexity to run down that clock at the entrance of B. And we actually did have the question, is Semphis actually the in-game leader? No, it's actually Warden. Warden, who actually came in as a coach for Complexity, is also actually the in-game leader and strat caller for Complexity. We'll talk about it a little bit more now as Daps peeks out, gets the kill, or gets killed by Warden, but his teammate falls down from Sync. He avenges him. Last man standing is going to be Sync trying to move up. Gets the first headshot, trying to line up a second one, but it does not work. As now it is 9-0 in favor of Complexity. So what I was trying to see here for Warden. Warden got married basically over the summertime in Hawaii. And while he was gone for 2 weeks or a month, he said, all right, while I'm gone, let's just have Semphis call because I can't do much right now. Now that he's back and also full-time coach and in-game leader for Complexity, he actually fully invests into calling and coaching the team. So in this event here, he's actually going to be calling it for Complexity with the 3-men push this round on the outside. With this mixed buy still continuously happening and a huge flank coming in across at that mid side as well. They totally get denied and Ape is shaking his head. What he's trying to call is just doesn't seem to work anymore. Seeing maybe a 16-0 on the first map will definitely set the tone for Complexity. And that would be interesting to see how that would pan out in the grand finals. If it continues this way, at this rate, you'll see an easy 2-0 maybe. And then they'll play against CLG Blue live in the finals. Another aggressive push, 2 down. Trying to go for a third with success from Roka. So they're just pushing every single round. Look at them. 3 men on the, again pushing down towards that mid. Hey, brother is going to be the last man standing with that P90. 11-0 our score as he's able to make it out, but that flash comes through, a no-scope miss. Semphis tried to go for a knife, I think. Dab says no. At least takes him down. So he has a 2K so far. He has to ace and clutch this to put the first round on the scoreboard for Nexus. With success, as they're now peeking 1 by 1, so this is not good for Complexity. Finally does set up a crossfire, and he gets the 4th one with the P90. Is he actually going to get a P90 ace? Rip Chicken, as Roka is going to have to hold back towards this alt mid, so the bomb is still down towards Banana, so it's still very somewhat covered by Roka. Now he's going to make a lot of noise by running through because there's not much time left on the clock. This is actually good here for Daps, knowing that Banana should be open. because of these aggressive 1 versus 1 pushes that they had against Daps. Can now Daps go for the ace? He will get a bomb plant at default spot at the grill. Roka moving in inside the site now. Flash. But Daps was able to make it towards construction. But look how aggressively he's pushing. Roka gets the ace. Is going to be Daps on a 5 versus 1 to make it 11-1. How does that happen? Oh boy. I'm speechless now. How do you lose a 5v1 against a P90? After all these aggressive pushes on a 5 versus 5, you're now on a 5 versus 1. But of course, they're still rich. Money's raining right now for Complexity, as they're looking to reset the money back against Nexus as they do so with 2 kills to start things off. Uber and 8 both fall down, and here comes the spam from Daps. Have to fall back just a bit here. Lots of smokes here. Run the clock for Complexity's side. That push is coming through, and Daps this time will not be able to get an ace clutch. He doesn't even get a single kill. Sig is going to get the first kill of the round, but then Automatic is on that balcony, hanging the laundry and saying, I'm going to get some headshots too at the same time. DSR now LMS. Roka at 1 HP, so this could give him the opportunity to work towards this B bomb site. He's going to walk up. He has no idea that Automatic was holding the angle by the bench side, and money is now reset. As we will now see a 12-1 score in favor of Complexity. So with that, in that case, they're just going to be stuck with Tech 9s. Which is smart for Nexus to just keep with the force buys, because at this point, they have pretty much been given, or giving free rounds away against Complexity by not being able to hold anything. And just look at that, a team flash that gives a chance for Semphis for a double kill. Here's a bunch of footsteps up towards the hallway as well. And he's going to peek out, gets a third one, traded out by Ape. But he's done his part. Daps running out, getting the kill by Automatic, but quickly traded by Sanks. Ape gets flanked, and it's going to be 13-1. And the reason why we're saying it's okay for them to force buy, giving these rounds away, they force bought pretty much every single round to try to get something going. And it has not. So if with full rifles it hasn't worked, if they're going for saves, I don't think they'll even get a higher chance. So Complexity now at 13-1. This is looking pitiful at some point now. They actually had amazing rifling from Nexus yesterday. Just unfortunately, it's not connecting this morning. Probably does they still need to warm up. It might change towards that second map, but we'll see. Now still pushing down towards that banana. The bomb is down behind him. Speaking of Complexity, they take down Sync, and Uber is now the last man standing as Roka takes him down through the smoke. 14-1 our first half, as Daps and Uber goes for the good halves, and Roka says no, and caps. So we'll see what's going to happen towards this second half. But as I mentioned it before, yesterday on Inferno, we saw them play against Ace Gaming, and we saw some amazing rifling from Uber and from DSR on this map. I'm going to look at the scoreboard right now. DSR is at 5-15. Uber is at 2-5. Both of them low scoring at the bottom, actually, of the scoreboard as well. We saw Ape, and I think we saw Saint actually did his part as well on Dust 2 when we casted their game, their match yesterday. So people kind of stepped up in different maps, but the guys who really stepped up for Nexus on Inferno respectively are not on point today. And they're going to try to do it now on the CT side though. And it works. There you go. They're telling me to shut up. They get the first kill. They get the third one as well, courtesy of Uber, with an aggressive push down towards Banana. Roka coming out towards the hallway at the A site, leaving Automatic the last man staying on the 4 versus 1. Takes down Uber and switches over to the block. Well, then picks up a P2K. Now it's Silence USP. It's going to be a 1 versus 1 inside this B site. They definitely hurt him right now. Overall, it is a 3 versus 1, and DSR executes him. And it's going to be 2 each for the bottom fraggers, and 1 for Saint to make the score now 14-2. Are they going to try to play the same way as they did? Like Complexity did, is to play aggressively. So far, they're investing on a lot of rifles, 2 SMGs, but the SMG with the P90 is going to give you that basic 300 bonus money. So there's really only DSR with the MP9, and they are trying to push aggressively, and it's not working. Ape now going to work, trying to, but Roka denies him with the P250, and we're about to reset the money onto Nexus' side as Complexity now overruns and overtakes his B bomb site. And Nexus will be broke if they lose this round. They have to try to go for the defuse no matter what. Roka pushes out and gets a triple kill for this round, leaving Sink the last man standing, and through the smoke gets headshotted there. And now it's going to be 15-2 with no money at all for Nexus. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see a 16-2 final score on the first map. I don't think we'll see anything different than that. We do have CZs though. That could always change the outcome of a round, depending on if you're playing angles or if you're going to push aggressively as a team. CZ is a little bit better as angles. I have DSR try to push out first. You don't really care. 2 more towards the sandbags, and Ape is going to get the first CZ kill right in front of the smoke of Banana. Flash is going to come across the top as well. Sang's picking up that M4. Get another one onto Sink from the last round. But they are getting dropped like flies, so Ape is going to be the last man sitting at the archway. Gets a second one here. Was not able to pick up that rifle that was left behind towards Banana because he was still being covered. He's going to try to pick up through the smoke. He runs out of bullets, but picks up the AK and redrops it. What? Now he's just trying to spam a little bit of one button press too many times. And we're going to end the first half 16-2 in favor of Complexity. You can see it there. DSR in the front of the screen. Sink next to him, Ape, Uber, and then Dabs respectively. A little bit of a head shake. Unfortunately, yes, they're not impressed and they're not amazed of their performance right now on this first map, as it was their map choice. So the second one is going to be on Cobble, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, it's gonna be on Cobble. So Complexity chose it. We're gonna take a small break from both sides, give them a chance to recuperate a little bit there, but Cobble is not an easier map for any pug to play as well. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen there, because at that point, with Statutory 8 maybe not used to calling towards Cobble, we might see Daps call it a little bit more for the team. So we'll see what's going to happen there. But with Van Silly and soon-to-be Launders joining me, we'll be back here in Northern Arena, twitch.tv/Northern Arena for Day 2, Map 2, and this best out of 3 semifinal between Complexity and Nexus.